Well, to be too capital G here, got a very good match for you guys to check out. I will just say at the beginning, this one is still pre-link format. I've been in talks with the guys at YGL Percy, the guys who actually developed. They say that the update is coming soon, and that's all they can tell me. So this is a competitive duel, although I will admit I guess my opinion of Sotelo Knights is probably inflated. Maybe I'm just biased, but I don't know. You guys probably gonna think I'm crazy or something. I honestly think if you take Zoodiac and True Draco out the meta, you just eliminate those decks' existence. I feel like Sotelo Knights could be like a top 3 deck, man. I still look at everything they have and I'm just like, well, Alpha Nova's good and Deneb and Altier are good and Maxi's at 1. They can run Demise. Call of the Haunted is just nuts in the deck. Trevor is still one of the top 5 best XCs in the game, especially for rank 4s anyway. I don't know. Maybe I have an inflated opinion of Sotelo Knights. I still think you could easily top regionals with the deck. And then at the top, we have a little bit of New Age, obviously the Invoked, and this is a Invoked Wind Witch build. So I guess this is kind of a Arc V duel, but it's kind of new Arc V versus old Arc V. Let's go ahead and roll this. I don't think I need that much setup with Sotelo Knights. You guys know about Sotelo Knights. You guys know Invoked. So let's see. Looks like Tellers just actually went set 3 pass. Did not use Card of Demise because he wants to hold on to that Max C. And Max C turn 1 is pretty good against just about any deck. And he kind of started pretty strong. Now he drew a second copy of Demise, which is pretty, like, that's honestly the worst thing he could have drawn. I think that's literally it's the worst card in his entire deck, because if he commits it to the board, it doesn't do anything and he can't activate it. Otherwise he'll just draw 1 card. Even if he sets, he'll still lose 1 from the Max C, and you don't want to set Max C or just have to discard it during your turn. His opponent does kind of brick here because he has 2 Alistairs and 2 copies of 2 copies of Invocation. So both players are kind of sitting on bricky hands. So he just kind of sets the Card of Demise as a bluff. Now here's where things are going to happen. He uses 1 for 1, and Maxi tries to be chained there. That's going to hit with strike, but he is going to go for Chambara, which is going to get striked back. He goes for Invocation, and I believe that is Raijin. He's going to take that damage directly. He has a Torrential Tribute set too, by the way. He top decks a copy of Unu, and here's the weird thing. I don't know about this. First off, I think it was really weird that he used Ghost Ogre on Unu, because that's like the card that you what? Like, Ghost Ogre is not good against Tellers in general, but I mean, Unu's still going to resolve, but he's actually going to not send, well, he changed Torrential Tribute before Unu is even resolved, but he's not going to send a Deneb to the grave. He actually sends Altier, which was like, what? So he uses Card of Demise, discards another Unu that he drew, activates Anti-Spell Fragrance, which obviously is really good against the Invoked Wind Witch deck, or any Invoked deck. He Solemn Strikes the copy of Alistair. Then he activates a Waste of the Dragon Souls, and that's why I think it was really weird that he used that copy of Unu for Altier. But you know, he falls into Forbidden Chalice, but it doesn't matter because he top decks Deneb anyways, because like, he's a pro, I guess. He goes into Batlamis and goes into Trevor. I think usually when you Trevor once and your opponent can't kill it, I think you win about 90% of duels. I don't think that has honestly changed, even with Kaiju's in the game. And at this point, it's basically just Trevor City. You see, he has the Card of Demise. I don't think, at this point, he has so much advantage. I can't really see him resolving that Trevor. Now, I didn't agree with this. He had like 5 monsters on the board, all of them Sotelo Knights. I have no idea why he did not attack first. He goes for a second copy of Trevor, which ends up getting hit with Solemn Strike, but he could have just attacked. I didn't get that. Like, he could have done so much battle damage. He does do some battle damage, but it just seems like it honestly got kind of wasted there. So, I don't know. Maybe that's just my opinion. He does get Regeki'd, but obviously Trevor doesn't really care, because it can get a replacement Teller. He gets another copy of Altier. He gets Deneb. And you see right here, this is why I still think Sotelo Knights can be so strong, because it doesn't matter how much power creep you have. Once Tellers get this type of lock, or once they get like anti-spell and they just Trevor you, there's pretty much no deck in Yu-Gi-Oh that's gonna beat that. Like, getting Trevor to over. I think he got Trevor, what, 4 times in this duel? Or he attempted to Trevor, I think 4. It was either 3 or 4. I know it was at least 3 times, because one of them got striked, one of them hit the field, and then here's another one. But I believe it was like 4 Trevor attempts, and this is the power of Trevor, and why I still think it is easily one of the best XCs in Yu-Gi-Oh. But it really seemed like both players started out very slow, and I think that Anti-Spell Fragrance definitely blew the game open, because it kind of sets it sets Invoked back a turn, and when you have Anti-Spell plus Trevor, it's just like, oh my god, it's the worst nightmare. I think Trevor is probably something you want to Ghost Ogre, simply because you don't want it taking out a card in your opponent's hand. But then again, I guess even if you Ghost Ogre the Trevor, they just get a replacement Sotelo Knight anyways, and if they haven't used Altier that turn, Altier triggers, and they're almost certainly probably going to Trevor you the next turn anyways, and they still bounce all the cards. So it's like you really don't accomplish anything. I don't know. I guess I'm just still riding the hype of Tellarknights. I still think it's going to be a really good deck. Well, then again, I wonder how it's going to do post links. You know, I guess we'll have to see. I'm just talking about complete nonsense. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I'm gonna go think about more of Tellarknights. Maybe Tellarknights could use a link monster. That might be kind of interesting, but I wonder how that would work with Trevor. It seems like it wouldn't really honestly work all that well with that card. Like there would be too much conflict between those two. You'd have to go into like Deltas or something. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already. This video has been brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audible.com/MegaCapitalG. Over 180,000 titles to choose from on your mobile device. I'm listening to the amazing I Can't Make This Up by Kevin Hart. Link in the description.